coaches take over a role, immediate success, they say, give us some time. For you, what was the formula for you guys to come in and do so much in so little time?
It's just the mentality, our mindset, just really not getting too caught up in the past. Watching some of their games last year, it was very competitive. I know there was some talent already on this team. So, I just figured, coming in, just implementing my intangibles, my principles, my standards, and just holding these young men to a higher standard and getting more out of them.
Because ain't nobody out to perfect. Ain't nobody going route, play in and play out, you perfect. All right, so why you doing all the extracurriculum? It's just like your daily life. Why you doing all the extracurriculum? Why we asking y'all just to lock in and just give us your all in between these white lines, man, and just be smart. Would y'all agree?
Yes, sir.
Let's not make it tough on ourselves, man. Handle our business, strain, right? Because it's going to take strain. It's going to take being in the right place at the right time. Doing all the little things we ask.
Being a coach that played at a high level, did everything that these young men want to do. So it just kind of makes it a little more easier, but just holding everybody to that expectation.
You had that Power 5 experience, NFL experience. What are some lessons from some of those coaches that you've interacted with that you're taking and pulling from?
I think the biggest thing is just really allowing, the players to be themselves, being unique, authentic to who they are, not trying to change them. I ain't got to be a police officer, I ain't got to be a daddy, but at the end of the day, I'm your coach, and just respect me to that authority. But you're a collegiate athlete, right? Like that's supposed to be some of the most funnest time of your life. If I'm some coach that's not allowing you to be yourself and having fun, I want to change you and have you be something that I want you to be, is not really beneficial for the bottom line. So I just think, just finding that happy medium.
In your coaching staff, you got a lot of NFL experience, a lot of coaching experience. For one, how valuable was it to surround yourself with guys that all the experience that they bring in?
I feel like it was beneficial to the success. With me not really having a ton of experience coaching, I felt like, I had to, get some guys that had experience that either, played collegiate ball, played in the NFL, or vice versa. When I had the opportunity to put the staff together, that was a big emphasis. Just make sure you got people that's been there, that's been in the fire, that knows the ins and outs of this coaching game, because I feel like, it's all subject to, relationships and who you know and who can help you with certain information. So in this instance, I said, let me establish and put together a staff where people, been in that fire before.
Almost completed with year one of the D-Jack era for you. I know you came in with a vision. How close are you to accomplishing that vision for this program?
Very close. Obviously, after only winning 2 games in the past 2 years, it's a blessing for me. I don't want to get too caught up in the moment and really thinking about all the success we've had, because I know it's still a lot more to do, and it's a lot more work to accomplish as well too. So,
wouldn't you want to fall in love with everything that it takes to? Man, we could go 9-3, bro. Like that's a realistic. We could go 9-3 playing the celebration. Right, but like I don't think y'all really understand. Like we can't be mediocre doing that though. Like being 9-3, like there's no mediocrity of 9-3.
You just can't really allow the pats on the backs and all the praises to get to you. We have to kind of like block the noise out. We gotta quiet the noise as well too, because if we get too caught up in it, it'll take us off our pivot. Every day we got opportunity to work and own the day and conquer the day. If you look about it, we got 2 guaranteed games left, this week and next week. So it's only a few practices left, and if we handle our business, hopefully we can have more than those few.
Has there been a moment so far where you're like, you look up like, and you realize this is why I'm here?
Seeing these young men's, faces after wins, they didn't really have success in the past few years. As tough as it is, because the expectations are very high. You see the feeling that they get, after all the work they put in, and just the standard of how high it is. Everybody's like, man, like it's paying off for us. So I think that's the biggest thing, where it's like fulfilled, where you see your players straining and stressing their bodies and doing things that they're not familiar and comfortable with, and then you see them have the success. I mean, it's a fulfillment moment.
Have you started to think about legacy? I know it's still early in your career, but how do you want to build this program, and what do you want to leave behind?
I mean, looking back, I think everybody will be able to say, like, what Coach Jack did at Delaware State obviously goes down in the books. It's only been a few teams to really have the type of record I'm trying to go for. So As long as we can accomplish that, we can win a championship. I mean, I think, that sets up a huge accomplishment for an ex-player that played at a high level in his first year coaching that didn't have no experience, and it's just, I don't think it's been done before. So, we just got to talk about that. But like I said, we got to still accomplish what we need to accomplish.